Hi there, it's Dan here from Flexxable. If you're running B2B ads on Facebook and you want to reduce the cost per lead, you're not going to want to miss this. Let's dive in. Okay, so a lot of you will be familiar with running Facebook ads to the consumer. A lot of people in my community run ads once they've landed a client. They're trying to advertise to a huge audience. And that is, that's easy to do on Facebook because Facebook has got a huge audience. And when you've got an offer that appeals to a huge audience, that's when you can get lots of leads at a cheap price, right? But inside my community as well, the really good guys and girls that kind of scale what they do inside their agency and really build something that just doesn't rely on a few whale clients or whatever. They're always kind of advertising and doing sales, okay? So they protect themselves from if a whale leaves or a whale's bringing in more than 80% of their revenue or whatever that is, all right? And we've spent a lot of time advertising to agency owners, like B2B as well. We've spent hundreds of thousands of pounds doing this, probably more. We've kind of figured some stuff out over time because what usually happens is if you're running an ad and it works well, then suddenly it kind of fatigues and dies out, right? So in today's video, I'm going to talk about how and give you some stats behind what we did. It was a split test of roughly £1,000 per hook. And we can show you how, basically if you're running to the same offer, which was for us is selling our B2B course, if you can kind of come up with some new hooks and new angles into what you're doing, it can dramatically reduce your cost per lead. And if the quality is the same, then you're going to make more kind of sales from the same ad spend. What we're talking about here applies to any kind of B2B niche, any B2C niche as well, really. The whole point I'm trying to get across is that you want to try different hooks and different angles into that market rather than just like running the same thing all the time. Okay, so I really hope this video helps you. And of course, if there's any questions at all, any comments, you can comment below. But let's dive in and show you some stats and what it really looked like. Okay, so both campaigns we were running were for a lead magnet. Okay, and after they were able to download the lead magnet, they then were given access to our Facebook group where they can grab the lead magnet and then we can talk to them and chat to them via high level and close them into our program, okay? And it was a really good campaign because we're able to get people in and we're able to add them to our Facebook group and sell them our offer. But when you get them into this is a side tip, by the way, if you can run a campaign to get people to join a community as a hook as well, that works really well because once you have them in there, it's like having on like your email database and your Facebook database. They just kind of help each other, okay? And you're able to make offers over time forever if you can get them into a Facebook group. So consider that if you're running, and I know that's a little bit of a side bit of insight there, but it's worth thinking about. So as I said, we're running a lead magnet and we were trying to get people to download that lead magnet. We're then sending them to the group. And what you've got here is the ad that we were running. The kind of hook that we had for our offer was how much people can charge in any niche. My idea was that there's a lot of people that are running the retainer model at the moment, and they're probably running ads in a lot of different niches, okay? And they might not know if they're running a mortgage ad that they can get $60 or £60 a lead or whatever that is. If they're running a car finance, they might be interested in how much they can charge in these niches, which means they might be interested in coming into the pay per lead model, okay? So you can see the ad here. In our B2B stuff, by the way, we use very simple, we call them fugly Facebook ads that kind of stand out. We just usually put the offer in the ad, in the image ad. There's no kind of fancy editing or anything like this. Anyone can mock up these ads very quickly. They're super easy to get going, and we found they're just always cheaper than fancy images. You'll see a lot of people in my community doing it, and it just works super well, so give it a go. So you can see here our first ad, and it did okay, right? So here's the stats. You can see here that we spent £94.67 with a CPM of £39.14, a click-through rate of 1.12%, CPC of £3.48. By the way, these were lead ads, right? And we had a cost per lead of £6.44. So if you think about that, our cost per click was £3.48 and our cost per lead was £6.44, which meant that more than 1 in 2 people were clicking and going through our form. People are interested in it after they click, okay? What wasn't great here is the fact that the click-through rate was quite low and the cost per lead is higher than I would like for a B2B offer, okay? We wanted to be down below £5. So we kind of had a look at this. We ran it for a few days, whatever it was. And we realized that we kind of had to come up with a different hook. This is a B2B offer to come straight into our Facebook group, and then we'd hit them up inside High Level to sell them into our program. So the test 2, we tried to pivot, the same offer going into B2B, going into the Facebook group, going in to sell our course to them. We thought that, okay, maybe agencies might not be so worried about how much they can charge in any niche. They might just be interested in landing clients for cheap. And we had a chat in the office about it. We whipped up a new lead magnet. And of course, what we saw then is some different results. So as you can see here, we spent a touch more, about £50 more, £953.40. The CPMs went down a little bit, £37.96. The click-through went up a bit. Funny that, 1.42%. I've always said 2% is like a really good rate for lead ads. Well, it's about what you want to aim for. Anything above that's super good. I've seen 6, 7, 8% with some of our stuff if the offer really works. The cost per click had come down to £2.67. And our cost per lead had come down to £4.29. So it had reduced by more than £2 or more than, roughly 33%. When you start scaling this and spending quite a lot more money, you'll realize that there's a big difference. There's a lot more leads that are generated for the spend that you've got, which means will lead to more kind of sales conversations and more sales. Like 33% more is a lot, all right? So it was a really good test for us. What was different? Obviously, the biggest difference was the hook. They were 2 completely different hooks pointing to the same offer. And that was the main difference, really. We still used the same kind of fugly image. I'll show you what the image was here. Okay, so we used the same fugly ad, but our offer again was in the image of the fugly ad. And we spent a bit more time on the copy. It was kind of medium to long copy, as you can see here. Overall, the number of words and what we said and the headlines and all of that, as far as the length goes and what the ads look like, wasn't a huge amount of difference. Okay, the main point I'm trying to get across is that the hook or the angle into this market made the big difference. Okay, it's really a good lesson for people that are banging their head against the wall because they're running ads to get clients over and over again with exactly the same hook, and they're wondering why it stops working and it fatigues, all right? A really good way of doing this is by spinning your offer, okay? So if we're trying to land clients in the pay-per-lead niche, what used to work a couple of years ago is if you're a car finance broker and you need leads, we offer you leads on a pay-per-lead basis. No monthly contract, no retainer, just pay us per lead. And if they don't convert after a week, don't renew your contract. No long-term retainer fees, no long-term contracts. There's, a whole host of stuff that people hate paying with retainer contracts, okay? So that was what used to work, but as there's more people came in and started doing what we were doing, that ad and that angle didn't work as well. So the next spin that you might have on that is pay for your leads after they're delivered, okay? So it's slightly better. And then after that is pay for only phone verified leads. Okay, so it's kind of the same thing, but it's just spun differently. We see a lot of what's going on now with ChatGPT. If you're able to spin your offer to include some warming up or whatever with AI, then that's going to be catchy, okay? Or it could be that buy leads from us that are generated from TikTok. That's a whole new angle as well that clients may not have seen before, okay? We forget as agency owners that a lot of the stuff that we do behind the scenes, a lot of the testing and, running advertorials versus quizzes versus lead forms, phone verification, all of this stuff that we're just testing constantly, we sometimes forget to tell our clients about it, right? And sometimes if you just drop one thing and it'll just excite them so much that they'll go for it, okay? And they'll definitely be intrigued. They'll either opt into your ad, or if you're sending an email out to your database, and if you spun your offer, then you're going to start getting some responses. You might use your new offer to be able to reignite an old database or whatever that is. But I hope you're following. I'm definitely rambling today. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out of my mouth that I want to tell you. I hope you've enjoyed it. It was a good test for us. It's a real good lesson for everyone that if you want to get more leads, get cheaper leads, then spin your offer, try different hooks, all of that type of cool stuff. It's good fun as well. All right, so if you've enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you've got any comments, as I said before, please do comment. And lastly, so you'll be the first to know whenever we've got some new videos out, please subscribe to our channel. I'll chat to you soon. Take care.